for this chat with Eusair Login and Mits Melanchek. I welcome you all. Great to be here and great to have you around the world, basically, in this remote or virtual session. I'm super pumped for what is in front of us today, as I believe this chat will be super educational and full of value, as well as full of fun for everyone involved. I have to be honest with you. I feel really proud and humble to be talking to Eusair and Mits today, as of course I have been following their success for so long. And well, you know, they're kind of business stars, not only in Slovenia, but quite big stars in this entrepreneurial world. And I'm so eager to go deep into their mind and soul. The aim of this talk today is to extract as much valuable information and experience-driven data that can help you in your business journey. But before we dive in, I would like to pass a microphone to Tanja Kožuh, CEO of Primorski Tehnološki Park. Tanja?
Thank you, Sasho. Dear students, entrepreneurs, Mrs. Eusair Login and Mr. Mits Melanchek, all other guests, I wish you a warm welcome to today's event. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students who presented their creative business ideas at yesterday's competition, Eusair Popri Youth. You have shown that you are ambitious, innovative, and responsible co-creators of our future. Today, we have another event for you, which will give you the opportunity to hear and learn from two special people, and of course, very successful entrepreneurs. I was looking forward to meeting all of you and listening to today's discussion. Let me briefly explain why. There is joy in life, there is sadness, trouble, happiness, and more. All of this is found in the business world as well, because what we do as people defines us. It speaks about our values and who we are. Our job and what we do is important in our lives. So, what does it mean to be a successful entrepreneur? What challenges do we face along the way? What knowledge and skills are required to have a successful career? These are some of the questions I would also like to find answers. So, I'd like to thank you for being with us. Enjoy listening and feel free to make questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And Magister Karin Žvokelj, Deputy Director of Spirit Slovenia, is also with us. Karin, the stage is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Sasha. Hello, dear students, mentors, and young entrepreneurs. I'm greatly excited to have this opportunity to open today's discussion. Self-confidence and trust in your ability are one of the important elements of entrepreneurship. I'm aware that it can be very difficult sometimes. Lots of things don't go the way as we planned. Everybody around us tries to tell us that we are doing the impossible, that it makes no sense, that we'll not succeed. But entrepreneurial success is about persistence, even after the others gave up. The solution could be only one step away. If Thomas Edison gave up after 100 attempts, he would never develop thousands and more inventions. After the failure, it is always up to you to decide to try again and make one step forward. Entrepreneurial beginnings are not always easy, quite difficult, I can say. There will always be a lot of obstacles along the way. A lot of energy is needed to invest in your vision. And of course, you will also have to take some risk along the way. Entrepreneurs are taking risks in everyday decisions. All of you who registered for this international competition took risks that you might not succeed. Plan the path carefully and have a strong wish to achieve your own goals. And even if you fall the first time, the second time, take it as a lesson to avoid the same mistakes in the future, and as one step closer to achieve your dreams. You can always take advice from mentors, teachers, or use different products or services from the supported environment. Your entrepreneurial path will definitely be full of success, challenges, as well as setbacks. And my advice to you is, just stay persistent and patient and cultivate your desire to always take challenge and discover new things. You know, you are our future. Thank you.
Big thank you. Thanks to Tanya and Karin again. And now get ready for Students Meet Entrepreneurs Talk in a second.
How much money do you really need to start your business?
Dve stvari sta pomembne. Prva stvar, ki je meni osebno zdi najbolj pomembna, je strast. Se pravi passion, tisto, da ti gori srce, da to delaš, da bi to delal tudi, če ne bi bilo treba delati za denar. Ta druga stvar pa poiskati trenutne in resnične potrebe časa in prostora. Ni več tega, kar smo rekli včasih, work-life balance, se pravi delo in življenje, to se pravi, ko ne delam živim, ko pa delam pa umiram, ampak v bistvu, da je vse skupaj eno življenje, ena harmonija skozi celo življenje. V Sloveniji sploh je velikokrat problem ta omejenost lokalna, da ljudje si ne upajo iti v tujino, ker v tujini so pa vsi bolj pametni kot mi. Ne, Slovenci smo izredno pametni, izredno delovni in izredno kreativni. Pri poslu ena stvar, ki jaz rečem, da jo ima vsak uspešen poslovnež, je odgovornost. Za vse, kar se ti dogaja, si odgovoren sam. Jaz mislim, da bo ta del kulture izvenel, da sem jaz zaposlena nekje in hodim v službo od 8 do 4. Ta del pa bo izvenel in bomo vsi na nek način podjetniki same zase, ki se bomo pa združevali potem v večje ekipe in delali rešitve. Tukaj potem ne pomeni, da bo nek moj vodja skrbel za to, kaj bom jaz delala, ampak bom jaz skrbela, kaj bom delala v tisti ekipi in jaz bom skrbela za to, da bom najboljša in doprinesla najboljš, kar znam v tej ekipi. In takrat, ko se bo to obrnilo, bodo v bistvu timi veliko bolj učinkoviti in bolj uspešni.
Pravimo, da nismo založniki. Mi smo samo delamo, po našem mnenju, dober produkt v obliki knjige. Knjiga nosi zelo veliko konotacij. Če jaz tebi dam knjigo, ti jaz povem, o čem jaz razmišljam, pa s tem tudi malo tvoj ego boostam. Vem, da je boš prebrala, vem, da investiraš čas v to, ne v mobitel. Na srečo smo imeli recimo s Ferjem Lančkom ful lepo izkušnjo in je rekel tako, lej, jaz nimam pojma, kva mi govorite, ampak verjamem, lej, bom naredil. In tudi prvi ilustratorji so bili tako, ne vemo čisto točno, kje primi to zadevo, ne poznamo še tega, ampak bomo pač probali. In so. Ženske so tekmovali nekaj časa, pa še zdaj, kdaj, koliko hiter je njihov mož zajokal ob naši knjigi. Zdaj, ko imam pa otroka, se pa jaz izjočem ob naši knjigi. Ne da odsvetuje, ampak zelo previdno z modernimi marketinškimi poslovnimi knjigami. Te knjige dajejo nasvete, ki delujejo mogoče v določenem času prostoru, v nekem balončku in niso aplikativne na vse. In hitro se lahko zaciklaš v neka ta navodila, pa mogoče sploh niso ustrezne. Enostavno, kar ti pomaga, so izkušnje s terena. To je vse. Pač moraš iti, moraš biti pravilno pogumen, moraš se opeči, moraš iti naprej, moraš razmišljati sam.
Isa and Mitz, big thanks for being with us. We are so thankful for your time. We know how busy you are with everything you do, so it's a real honor to have you. Where are you? Let us see you.
Hey, Sasha. Nice
Hey.
to be with you, even though remotely, but still.
Yeah.
In reality.
It would be so great that we could be here or have a dinner and talk, But yeah, the situation is how it is. So Before we start, I would like to set the stage. Especially, I would like this to be an interactive experience, meaning I would be happy if also you two, as our guests, could, ask questions. So feel free to jump in anytime if you want to know more about what we are talking about. And of course, everyone who is watching us, who is remotely with us, let's make this almost as we would be live here, okay? Everybody in this Zoom meeting, please use raise hand feature so that we know that you want to ask a question. I see almost everyone have also the cameras on, which is great. You all will be muted and then unmuted when you are ready to ask a question. So let's make it as interactive as humanly possible, okay? And don't be afraid, ask questions. There are no stupid questions today. Probably I will ask some stupid questions before you, so you don't have to ask stupid questions. Okay, so everything is ready. So let's start. Isa Sialogin, Deputy CEO and founder of Outfit 7 from 2010 to 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then you were 1 year advisor to the board of directors. Probably in the time when you sold the business, you stayed on the board, I'm guessing. And now you mainly work for Login 5 Foundation, am I correct? Where are you at the moment? What's your focus?
Yeah, so hello from my side as well. Happy to be invited to this event. I always enjoy working, not just talking to, but working with young people, because I'm like 100% sure that you are the future and that you are the one that will actually save the world. Since the sale of Outfit 7, I've been working on projects of Login 5 Foundation that covers quite some different areas. I don't know, maybe I should start a step. Start a step back, because when we established Outfit 7, we planned to earn enough money to invest in non-profitable ecological projects. So that's why then when we earned enough money and sold the company, we actually work on those projects. There are many of them. Some of them are just more philanthropic projects where we sponsor some projects, like say Harvard University, Cambridge University, Oxford University, and so on. Then there we run a huge ecological farm in Serbia, where we develop technically highly sophisticated IT solutions that will share for free when they will be ready to share with the rest of the world. Then in Slovenia, we have a quite big neuro brain research center. When we research pleasures and emotions connected to food, because food we eat today is one of the biggest issues at climate crisis, though we are not taught that way, but it is when you do the research. And then the third, the new pillar, we just started. We published a book in March, 7 Unicorn Drive, that describes our story at Outfit 7, but not as an autobiography book, but more as a novel in a business sense. So it's a business book written as a novel. So through a light reading, you get some tips and tricks how to build a unicorn. And the next step, this was just the beginning, the next step will be a Unicorn Drive Academy that we are launching in the summer.
It seems like you yourself is a big unicorn that it's multitasking like crazy because there's so many projects. I just went to the website a couple of weeks ago when, to the Login 5 Foundation website, and it took me like maybe 2 hours just to read and get a basic understanding on how many fields and how many pillars are you touching. This is just wonderful. I wonder how you can do this, but we will talk about this later. But let's touch on the book before we introduce Meets, because this book is then the nice segue between what Meets does and what you just launched. So you were basically the first married couple in the world to sell their company for $1 billion and reach this level of accomplishment in business. So creating true unicorn basically from zero in 7 years. So that's probably 7 unicorn drive, yeah? So yeah, how did you decide to write this book with the guy that helped you do this?
Yeah, so while running Outfit 7, we didn't have a lot of time to analyze why we were so successful. But after we sold the company, I wanted to understand, because people said, yeah, you had luck. Yeah, but you can have luck, let's say, buying a lottery ticket, but not running and selling the company like this with 200 people in 7 years, that many areas, the whole world, and so on. So we did quite extensive analysis on why we were so successful, and we saw that actually it was not about luck, it was a bit about the area of business, but bottom line, it was about how we work. So about how to decide which business to build, how to make analysis, how to build teams, how to set the purpose of the business, how to set values, how to build a culture, and so on. So this was so important that we decided to share it with everyone, because I strongly believe that if we made it, everyone can do it.
Okay, we will return to this, but I want to introduce Meets to the stage. Meets Melanchek, co-founder and marketing and creative officer at Hooray Studios. Meets, you are a traveler. You travel the world, around the world, right?
Yeah, not lately.
Not lately, yeah. But when was this? 10, 15 years ago? Even more?
No, actually, it's a funny story, because me and my girlfriend, who you can see at the back working now, yeah. Hey. So we decided to go around the globe just about the time we launched Hooray Studios. So this was in 2013. So what we did is we launched the project in September, I believe, and then in January we headed to Asia, and then we were gone for 18 months.
Great timing.
Yeah, perfect timing, especially if you ask my co-founder. But apropos Isa's comment, I mean, they had a vision from the very beginning, and I truly admire that. And Rada and we didn't have a vision. To be honest, we started this, our goal was not to make enough money to save environment, which is a noble goal. Our goal was, to get some money on the side, because we were students at that time. And, every $100 on the side really helps you to survive, or to have a pleasant time on college every day. So, we started this company, and then throughout our travels, the company actually started showing some prospect, and then by the time we got back home, the real journey basically started. So yeah, we gained a lot of, I think, valuable life experience while traveling.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't change that for anything. And I think, like Isa said, it's not like you die at work and you strive in free time. This was a balance for me, and I plan to do this in the future as well.
But you were also working for a couple of agencies, like more in the marketing and stuff like this.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
how much did this help in the beginning of the business?
Well, mostly I learned I don't want to work for anybody else but me, which is a valuable. Yeah,
Yes.
it sounds funny, but you need to
No,
go
it
through
is.
that phase.
I can relate. Yeah.
Exactly. You need. It's not all bad, but this is I think we, and especially young people, we need to value ourselves, our knowledge. We have to be courageous, and as Isa as well mentioned, we are not dumb. You know, sometimes when you have meetings with USA counterparts or whatever, they tend to make you feel less important or less capable, and we are definitely not. So yeah, I mean, I learned valuable lessons. Mostly I was gaining knowledge on the side. I mean, especially through traveling, and we had a travel blog, which was completely innocent project, but we did a lot of writing, we did a lot of photography, videography, some of advertising, talking to business partners and so on, as a hobby. But you know, I transcended this all when we launched Eusair Studios. You know, I was always aiming at doing things that I could say this is the best I can do, and I'm proud of it. And whether this is a blog, whether this is whatever project I've been to, I want to do this. And Eusair Studios definitely is a project that is built on that premise.
So to take it away from that point, where are you now at the moment with Eusair Studios and your life? And then we'll go back.
Sure. We are at the point where Outfit 7 was when they sold the company, but we are a couple of times smaller. So we've been on the market for 7 years. Our aim, our wish is not to sell the company at this moment. We still have a roadmap that features products that I feel very passionate about, and these are long-term projects, and I want to be part of them. But definitely, well, to be honest, we are on the verge of. I mean, Rada and I are competent to build a company up to a certain phase only, and after that, we believe we would appreciate some help. So we are looking outwards, you know, either to established managers or some investments and so on, but being still in control of things that are happening within the company.
Okay, so basically you two have a lot in common, or you know, the basic premise or the basic idea. What I see is working with characters, basically. Means you are working with different characters in your books, that you work with illustrators, and the story is always important. And also with your project, Isa, the story and the characters were important. So maybe to go back to where you started, or where the idea came from, Isa.
We're talking Tom, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we started Outfit 7, we actually didn't have a product. So we didn't have Talking Tom, and we didn't know that there will be entertainment apps. The only thing we knew was we are gonna build mobile apps. And our mission purpose was no. And everybody said that we are gonna fail, because if you don't have a problem, you don't start a business. So we had some apps before Talking Tom. We launched some apps in the first 6 months, and they were not successful. They were just doing okay, covering the costs, but far away from our goals. And then my husband did some analysis of the existing mobile store back then, and he found out that gaming category was already saturated a lot, actually. So to succeed on the gaming area, it would cost us 1 to 2 million euros or dollars. But there was another category, entertainment category, that was not that popular and not that saturated, so it was easier to excel somehow. And also the development of the apps for entertainment was much cheaper. So that's why he decided. he got to TurboScript. This was an online store for digital characters, and he found this talking tom for $60. He didn't knew, or anyone actually in the team didn't knew anything about brand building. He just found that cat cute.
So it was not a big research like psychology or how, you know, people would perceive something like that, or it was just, yeah, just the intuition or just the feeling?
Yeah, it was a feeling. But then later on, when we did the research, we found out that the cat is actually the most appropriate character because it's actually lovable.
Yeah,
Almost everyone loves cats, you know.
that's why there are so many cat pictures on social media nowadays, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we started with the app. If I'm honest, I actually didn't love it. Actually, the cat was somehow okay, but the environment, that back street, I really didn't like it. For me, it was like not funny, anything. And then this farting stuff, you know, it's described. I really didn't like the farting stuff in the app. But it
people
was,
were laughing.
yeah, because app
yeah.
was actually developed not for kids, as some may think, but for young people.
Mm-hmm.
So how to make young people laugh in, let's say, 2 minutes or even sooner. This was the main objective of the app. And it was developed in a month and a half by 3 people. And when it was launched, it was a worldwide success in 5 days.
Isa, you said you didn't like the app at the beginning. Were you kind of, as they say, you have to be embarrassed when you launch? It was not perfect. It was not, but it was a trial, yeah, and a success.
I was not embarrassed.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that it might be appealing to someone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously I was wrong.
So that's the importance of a test. Now we established, right? A lot of times you are thinking from yourself, from your, yeah.
Yep.
But it's a lot of times not worth anything. Yeah, you have to put it on the market and see what happens, right?
Yep.
Okay, important lesson. And then from here on, it just...
Then the roller coaster started. It was like, I was working at Outfit 7 only 20% of my time until Talking Tom was launched, because I had my own business and I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, I was 150% at Outfit 7 from that day on. And at the beginning, it was not easy because mobile app is quite, I usually say, bloody, you know, because there are no emotions, and there is, at the beginning, you don't have that inertia that keeps you on the surface. So you can exist today and tomorrow you're nothing.
You're gone, yeah.
Yes, we're gone. So we had to launch new apps every 2 weeks. And it was really hard work for the first year, especially.
So you did iterations of the same Talking Tom at the beginning, right? Yeah.
No. There were many
new characters. Okay.
Characters all the time. And then a year later, somebody asked us, what about brand building? And we say, what does it mean, brand building? And then we started studying. So then we developed Talking Angela, Talking Ben, Talking Ginger, and Talking Hank. It was a gang.
Umbrella, yeah.
Umbrella brand. Then we started developing stories and animated series and music videos and so on.
Not many people actually know that Talking Tom was just the beginning, and then Angela and other characters, but not many people know that you basically, from what I feel or from what I know, the main value of the Outfit 7 brand was not just the apps, but like you mentioned, cartoons and merchandise and everything, right?
Yeah, it's all together. Actually, there were apps. But still, apps were the
main?
biggest.
Okay.
But yes, of course, when you develop some characters and they get known, the licensing, so physical products like plush toys, I don't know, notebooks and shoes, t-shirts and everything.
Yeah.
You just have to have them. So it's a completely different business, and it's, I can say, harder business, harder. It's with physical products, it's always harder to be successful,
Yeah. Yeah.
penetrate the market.
So Isa, basically you learned by doing it. I mean, not the coding part, but the rest, if I understand correctly. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and we hired quite some advisors as well to help us. Not just consultants, also advisors. Advisors are like, godfathers. In Slovenia, this role is not so developed yet, but in the US, an advisor is like a godfather, to the owners.
You can move so much faster, right, with someone like that. Not doing mistakes by yourselves. Great. Okay, let's switch to meats. The beginning of your story. It was a beer, I guess, with Rado that launched everything, or that you got the idea?
Yeah, it was more rakia, but yeah,
Okay.
it was along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were co-workers before we met at one super big company in Slovenia. Rado's been working there for 9 years, I believe, and he was kind of stuck, I would say, and then he had a bunch of ideas on how to run his life, but he just didn't have that kick in the butt, and I was that kick in the butt, obviously. I was talking to my friend who worked at the bank at that time, and he said, Slovenians are super careful about starting something, getting a credit loan. But all those people from Bosnia, they just come in, take credits and start businesses. And I was talking to Rada, we are in Slovenia, how should we, take a student loan? And he said, I'm from Bosnia, I'll just take a credit. And that's what he did. And so we started with 12,000 euros at the beginning. Like Isa said, we were, we didn't run tests. We started this because we wanted to make something nice, something to look good, to be proud to when you present it to somebody that you are not ashamed of, and so on. But as well with us, it happened that we started, to make a very long story short, we started as a children's book, personalized children's book company. And then 7 years later, now more than 50% of our revenue stream comes from book for grown-ups. So we are just, we put ourselves to the market, and first 2 apps, books, were, again, they were okay. They were covering costs, but it was not something we could rely on. It was not a vector for the company. But then something happened, in Italy. It was a funny story. I think it was almost a coup that was happening. I would say 150 dads in Italy started complaining why we don't have books for dads, that dads are important too, blah, 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 all this modern male stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, I know it's true. I know it's true, but it sounded so pitiful at that time that we were laughing for the first couple of days. And then we said, okay, maybe those Italian guys, they know something, And then we made a book for dads, a dad with a child. Yeah. And for a couple of weeks, nothing happened. And then for us as well, the roller coaster started, and we started exploring options within family relations, closer family, broader family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, godmothers, godfathers. And then lately, especially 2021, for grown-ups, for Valentine's Day, between 2 couples, same-sex couples, whatever. And yeah, so this was the development that's been happening so far. We are still in the field of books. There were a lot of there was a lot of flirting with something digital, but in my personal opinion, we still have things to explore within this physical product, and I don't feel that we are ready to leave that on the side and launch into digital. I would like to launch into digital, but not on the expense of having my and my team's creativity, suffer on the field where we are good and we are the best global player at this point.
Okay. I want to touch something that I think is really important for getting the idea and then for going forward. Before we get bloody a little bit. So I want to know how, if Isa, you can tell us, for the beginning, for the idea, you told us about Talking Tom that Samo researched a little bit or bought this, but from that stage on, why did you and Samo decide, or how did previous experiences in your life helped you or crafted you to go on with the idea? If you understand me, like we all do different stuff. Like Meet said, you know, traveling the world, photography, blogging. That probably helped him to be able to start the idea for the kids' books. But for you, how did previous experiences of you both helped you to grab this idea about Talking Tom and start? I mean, coding is probably a really important thing at the beginning, right, for you?
Yeah, so let's say when I was finishing my computer science studying in late 90s, I developed an app for kids as well, and it was how to teach young kids to read, like 1-2 years old toddler to read. It was one US methodology. And I said back then, oh, if I would do only these things in life for kids, I would really enjoy it. But then it happened. I had to go to the job, to the company. I worked for big companies as Novartis and Microsoft, and I got many skills. I was not a coder, so program developer back then, because I found out that it's not for me, because I'm not a person to sit behind a computer and typing the whole day long. I have to talk all day long. I found out I enjoy working with people, leading people, building teams, building winning teams. And when I finished my job at Novartis, I said, I know when I'll be grown up, I'll build winning teams and I'll help companies build their winning teams. And then I started my job at Microsoft, and in 10 months, I burned out and I had to grow up. So I was big back then, and I was able to start helping companies and organizations to build strong teams. So this was my advantage. Samo and the rest of the team, they worked for 90.si. It was the biggest search engine back then in Slovenia. And it was not just about programming, because let's say everyone can learn to do it, but they were really good at planning the user interface.
Okay.
So they were really good at execution. So that execution was really prominent, good, you know. So these were two advantages that they brought to the team, to the Outfit 7. Mm-hmm. So when we launched the apps, they were really robust, and on the other side, they were really easy to use. So because when you get the app, you know, when you install the app, and if you can use it in a minute or two, uninstall it, because there are so many apps in App Store today that you don't need to spend your precious time to digging the user interface and how does it work and what I have to do. If I know how to use it, it's fine. If I don't, I uninstall it. So the apps are really well made, also the first apps.
So the previous experiences really helped in that sense, right? From you and from Samo and the team, yeah? Sure. Meets, how was the story with you? How did you kind of get the idea and get it started? Because of your previous experiences.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I always strive to make things better than they are on the market, whatever the market is. I always liked to be courageous, or to put it bluntly, to be stupid to make things that others would say are impossible to make. With Hooray Studios, this was really obvious. As you can imagine, we launched this in 2013. The internet was skyrocketing by that, of course. And launching something new in publishing was considered stupid. And that was the motivation behind what we did, you know. But maybe what's really important at the very beginning, I'm sure Isa can relate to that, is, you know, having a partner in crime is really beneficial. You know, you need to have somebody that, I mean, rarely it does happen that you are both on the downside, you know, because if you're alone, that happens, of course. But with Rado and me, it was, you know, somehow, I don't know what it was, but we were always, you know, encouraging each other when somebody was on the downer. And these downers are super necessary for the company. I mean, for the growth, and are something that you cannot avoid. So this was definitely at the very beginning, you know, being positive, being stupid, being courageous, you know, just having a laugh about it, and, you know, zglavo skuzit, you know, like a bull, that helps, you know. That was the main thing that we brought. As you know, we were young, we were 25, you know, you barely got out of Commercial in Ljubljana, you know, and you started your business. So by that time, you know, you need to be courageous.
Meets Isa can relate, as I can see.
And I wanted to say that you seem to be in love with Rade.
I mean, look, yeah. I mean, we've known each other for 10 years. I know. I talk to him more than I talk to anybody else in the world. You know, it's my Samo. You know. Well, hopefully not my Samo. You know, but
in all senses.
He's close to that. He's close to that. Yeah.
Cool.
But if we touched upon this, we can maybe move forward. The beauty of having a partner can also be a difficulty, right? For Isa and Samo, you work together, you live together, you just work and you don't live together for some time, probably. I mean, yeah, there's no time for you, probably. It was, or how did you avoid having problems in the private life as being partners, if you just had to, you know, work, or did you find a balance when it was really hard, or?
Yeah, sure. I think that defining the roles in business. So let's say it was Samo's idea, it was Samo's projects. We call it like firekeeper. So Samo was the firekeeper of Outfit 7, and I helped him. So we discussed what's my area of work, what are my responsibilities, and so on. And it was the final word was always his. If he couldn't agree, and I accepted that because it was like his project, though we worked together. But on the other side, we had roles like now we are working and now we are not working. It's like private job, and we jumped from one role to another, and we didn't brought problems from private life to work and vice versa. And we strongly believe that couples working together in the same business have bigger potential for success because they know each other like really good. They almost feel each other, you know, all the time. So they can really then put their competencies together, or like their strong points together, you know, and so on. And it's, though we always say you have to be honest, you have to be truthful, and so on, it's always easier to do it with your partner than like life partner than with everyone.
But then the most important thing that you told us now is you at the beginning set the roles in the team, business-wise. Now maybe the learning thing for young entrepreneurs now, they have teams, but maybe they're just, you know, jumping here and there. And do you believe that you need to have one head of the project, or as you said, Samo decided, you are not allowed to have 3 people that will decide, right?
No, we are implementing already new approaches, new philosophies to work. So it's not a pyramid anymore. So one project manager or a boss, and then people working in a pyramid. But we are introducing like circles, so there is a hub, and this is the firekeeper, and then the people around, like circles, with another circles around them. So it's more like
Cells.
co-creating. Yes, it's co-creating. It's not me telling you what you have to do, but it's between us to discuss what I'm gonna do and what you are gonna do. And it should be more efficient, but it requires higher responsibility for all team members.
But who is then, for a small team, for example, for young teams that we have in our audience, what happens when they cannot agree? I mean, is there someone who says like, yeah, we will go? Yeah, he's the head of the hub or the cell. Yeah.
There is still this firekeeper that can always have like the final decision.
The final call.
The final call, but with arguments.
Yes.
Like the power, the argument of power, but power of arguments. This is the most important if you want to be successful and if you want to empower your team members and inspire as well.
So it's that kind of the concept of small CEOs, right? Different apartments, compartments, or cells, and working as a great. So Mitz, how do you work with Rado? Over beer or rakia every time, or no alcohol, or because we have young audience, or
Definitely no alcohol. Yeah. No,
okay.
I mean, we haven't defined roles. We haven't defined roles strictly at the beginning, but I was from the field of marketing and creative and all this, mashup, and he was more. His previous job experience was more in line of customer support and so on. And customer support was and still is one of the biggest parts of our company, meaning now we are 120 and at least 70 people, meaning 60% of people still work in customer centers. So, I certainly agree with the logic that you two presented now. But from my experience, it was that it all needed to happen like evolutionary, if this is the right word. We were not able to force anything upon the company. So we started as not hierarchical company with 20 people. Everything worked smoothly. You could see face to face every day in small office, open office. Everybody was part of every discussion basically. But then as our company grew, and it grew really fast, it took us by surprise, and mostly it took our experience by surprise, because we are not managers. I don't consider myself a manager. I'm learning this by doing it. If I could decide, I would, lock myself in a hut on Pokluka and work by myself and just, bring projects. I know this is not the right approach, but this is something I enjoy. So everything else was something that needed to be learned. And with
and learn
time,
fast, right?
Exactly, learn fast, and by learning fast, do as little mistakes as possible. Still be courageous, still not. I say, what we did good is not being politically correct all the time. Meaning, we took shortcuts. We took something that was not by the book, but I still said, okay, let's do it. Fuck it, let's go with it. We are saving time, and we'll solve the problems later on. And that's why, we were kind of ruining the foundations to some extent, but could grow faster. And, as the company is as big as ours is now, or even smaller, you need to start fixing these mistakes from the past. And this sometimes requires, brainiacs in terms of good managers, somebody who's not emotionally as attached to a product as I am, for example. This is my life. Hooray Studios is my life. And I'm emotionally attached, and somebody from the outside with a cool head could say, valuable information.
Okay, guys, if you have any questions, like we said, let's make this interactive. Just raise your hand. There are no stupid questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because then you will also not be afraid to, you know, jump on board, do mistakes, learn from them. I mean, we have a lot to talk about, but we would really like to answer your questions. Don't use chat for questions, but raise a hand, and you will be with us in this chat. You can do this anytime. Even without your questions, we would be talking for like 5 hours for sure, because there are so many fields that I want to touch that I already know that we will not do, you know, but you guys are so great in so many fields that I would like to talk until tomorrow. But we have someone with us. Please say your name, what you do in just one sentence, and your question.
Hi, my name is Lexi Tsundic. I'm trying to learn more about graphic design, and I wanted to, you said it very briefly, but what's, for Isa, what kind of work did you do at Microsoft?
Okay, at Microsoft, my role was engagement manager and people manager. So I was in charge of all consultants that were offering their services in companies in Slovenia. So I was a manager actually of a department. It was actually nothing to do with software development, nothing with mobile apps at all, nothing with graphic design. But I was happy to work for Microsoft, to see the way of working, approach, teamwork, the way how they price people, how they assess their work, because it was quite different than when I worked for Novartis. I was surprised because the companies were approximately the same size, 70,000 people each, but the working, not habits, the way of working were completely opposite. And it gave me a good base to assess what I like and what I don't like, you know.
So it was a learning experience for you to see how you would like to have your team and your culture, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we satisfy you with the answer? Any sub-questions, maybe?
Let's see.
Yeah, okay. Any questions? Please raise your hand. Otherwise, yeah, we have. Nelly, do you have a camera or not?
No, I don't have it.
Okay, no problem.
But my question is, how did the false news about the app Talking Angela filming users and invading privacy affected your company, and how did you deal with that?
Yeah, so maybe I should explain it a bit for those that don't know. So all our characters were somehow naked. So like cats are usually in the nature. So only with the fur on. The fur was were their clothes. And there was an app, Talking Angela, that had a chatbot behind. And that chatbot was written by the best chatbot writer in the world. Chatbot is like a robot, but it runs semi-intelligent discussions. So you were able to talk with Angela, to talk verbally or to type. And she had clever answers. So people were really satisfied. And then one mom from Ireland popped out that there is a pedophile behind. There are pedophiles behind the app that tried to find out the kid's name, the address, and then they'll wait for them after school and kidnap them or whatever. And it got viral. That Facebook post got viral. And we were told that we are done, that our brand is damaged and that we would never be able to recover from that damage. You should be with us those maybe 3 days.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because we had interviews with all TV stations around the world whole day long. It started from 7 a.m. from Asia, and it finished at 2 a.m. another day from the US. Just calling. It was just a ring phone. In 10 minutes, you have an interview over Skype with, I don't know, Fox TV and so on. And the app actually skyrocketed to the first place in the store.
Of course.
And you should listen to Samo, because Samo gave all the interviews, and when they asked, okay, so is there a pedophile behind the app? And he didn't say, no, there is no pedophile behind the app. But he said, with that many users, we would need an army of pedophiles to answer all the questions Angela had for you. And of course, it was in all headlines then, you know, they would need an army of pedophiles and so on. So he's funny, he always makes jokes. Actually, we didn't suffer any damage. We put clothes on Angela, so since then on, Angela always had a dress or something. We also then it suited us for other apps. And actually we got, I think it was about $150,000 from insurance company, because we paid insurance also for such damage. And we were able then to put it into marketing to strengthen the brand, for at least for Talking Angela. So actually there was no damage, bottom line, but it was a huge stress because we just didn't expect something like that.
This is a great example how you can use negative things for really positive outcome, right? You couldn't.
If you're not afraid,
yeah,
if you just go like because there was nothing wrong, we were sure that there was no pedophile behind, you know.
I'm just thinking all the time that, I mean, you couldn't brainstorm a better PR for your company.
Yeah, it's always, you know, Madonna said, like, I don't know how many years ago, 30 years ago, Madonna said, there is no bad publicity, it's just publicity. And it helped me many times.
Not many people would agree, but yes, yeah. I think it was probably at the time that for the youngsters, Madonna was a singer, really big, huge, popular singer in our times, Isa, right? If you don't know. She's older now, so yeah, not that popular. But she put in the video, like, if you remember, like a virgin, like big crosses were burning and stuff like this. And then she had problems with church and, you know. So this is probably when she said, like, at that time, yeah. And she also had problems, but she overcome them. So yeah, this is a great example how you can, don't be afraid and then try to get, and you were doing nothing wrong, which is an important thing, like you said, like I mentioned, yeah. Okay, so any other questions? Otherwise, I will ask me some. Oh, we have a team. Okay.
Well, hi, we are White Flowers, and we're all high school students.
Okay.
The question that we'd like to ask is, what kind of problems or obstacles did you come across while creating the Talking Tom app, and how did you overcome them?
Ooh, do we have 3 days probably for the answer? Thank you for the question. I'm guessing, yeah, Isa will try to keep it short, but I believe you had many problems, right?
Yeah, we had, of course. I don't call it problems. I usually call them challenges.
Challenges, yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Maybe I will share just one story, because this was the most expensive one. So we developed some really sophisticated plush toys with an Israeli startup that were able to communicate with the app on the phone, you know. So when you were playing with the app and you punched Tom, the real cat said, oh, don't do that to me, it hurts, and so on. And they were singing and so on. And we produced them in China. And it happened that one day they didn't sell really good, because I said we struggle with selling physical products. And I got a quite okay offer from Russia. And I said, okay, let's sell all the toys to Russia. So it was Friday, I decided. And on Sunday, we got photos that all the toys burned out in a fire.
Wow.
And so it was a loss of $1 million. And we hired a detective, sent him there, and he said there was no fire. And those toys actually appeared on Alibaba.com. So they were somehow stolen from us. And when we sent detective again, they said, oh, but there was a fire. And the case was closed and we lost $1 million. But 3 years later, we were selling the company to the Chinese investors. And we already had some experience dealing with Chinese people, and it helped us a lot. Though it was a very expensive situation, we learned something from it, and I'm sure that it helped us when we were selling the company. But this was the most expensive situation. Otherwise, we got them every day now.
Yeah. So in building such an, I don't want to say empire, but such a big, huge company, you have problems every day, right? From small fires to big fires. Okay. Another question? Okay, and then we go to Mits. I want to ask him something. Hey, one
Hello.
question from who? Who you are?
So my name is Nick Stanojevic. I'm part of the team Visos from Slovenia. And my question is, how did the China company found about you? Were you trying to reach to them, or were they the ones who started?
Yeah.
So
when, let's say, I will explain like briefly. Yeah. So when company decides to sell, so when founders decides to sell the company, usually they hire a banker, So also we hired a banker. It was Goldman Sachs. They did a huge, extensive due diligence on us. So if we are really like a proper company, if we did everything by the law and so on. And then they went through their offices worldwide to find potential buyers. So, and then we went there and we introduced our company and so on. So it happens as well that somebody interested in the company calls and asks, okay, are you willing to sell your company? Let's say it's approximately the same as selling the car. So when you sell the car, you find someone what are today's these online portals when you can sell the car? It's, let's say, like this, or somebody can ask you on the street, oh, are you selling this car? I really like it. This is like simplified, but yeah,
just the numbers are different. Like 1 billion is a little bit more than my car.
And it takes longer as well. It's not like the months, it's like a year.
Due diligence probably takes a couple of months, I would guess. Yeah. Okay, guys, I hope you're satisfied. Mits, let's get back to you. When did you, or let's put it this way, when did you know, or when did you start thinking that this idea of yours is not only for Slovenian market? Because do I know correctly that you started with Mali Junaki just for Slovenian market at the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we started in Slovenia, as I said, as a hobby at that time, and of course, as a young guy, you dream of having something that would be international, or even just going to Croatia or the bordering countries from Slovenia is considered a success story by all means. And we followed that path. So we started in Slovenia. In 4 months, the concept was kind of market proven, and then we launched Austria and Croatia, and we failed completely. So we invested some money again and a lot of time and knowledge and energy, but it was miswasted at that time. So we pulled back from Austria, and then deciding what to do next, whether leave this as a hobby project in Slovenia only or still try to go abroad. We decided to go to Germany. Why Germany? Because it is considered one of the more demanding markets. It's not easy to penetrate, and it's definitely one of the biggest entertainment markets in the world. I would say still top 5 probably.
Can I stop you there? Can I stop you there, Mitz? Because I think there are some valuable things we can learn. Why did you fail in Austria and Croatia? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, even though we are on the same continent, and now I see that marketing approaches do not vary that much in across similar countries. We still approach those 2 countries, meaning Austria and Croatia, with the same approaches we had in Slovenia, in our home country. And you must know that your home country is the easiest market to penetrate, because no matter how stupid this sounds, but you know people, you know who to talk to, you speak the language, you can do basically all of the things necessary, especially in marketing. You can write texts, you can do websites and so on. Whenever you go abroad, you cannot compensate this with
it's harder to start a small fire, right?
Exactly. So we started with everything we had in Slovenia, and we thought, Croatians are going to buy our books because Croatians copy everything Slovenians do. It's not true.
Not true.
Not true. And Austrians, we said, Austrians have more money than Slovenians. Come on, they will buy this just for fun. Yeah. They do not. So this was, we miscalculated. We put everything in hands of the customer, not in our hands. And that didn't work out.
And then Germany?
Well, Germany, we made a list, an actual list in Excel file.
So
with all the things.
You learned the lesson.
I mean, we are still learning it, but yeah, we went to Germany like we are on today's Zoom call probably. I'm in nice white T-shirt, but on the bottom I have Adidas shorts. So. This was the way we approached TV, meaning, Germany. We went out with the makeup on, just doing everything to please the customer, because this was the only logic to approach this, being, having free shipping, having affordable products, being 24/7 online, etc., etc., etc. And then eventually we started, putting that layers of makeup to the financially sustainable level of the company. But mostly, to answer your question in a simple way, we found out, I think it was August, and one of the ladies who got our book in Germany, her partner started filming her, and she was crying her eyes out. And he said, "Oh, come on, you came only to the page 4 of the book and you're crying already." And that video was ugly. It was recorded with the old Nokia phone. It was without sound, basically. So it didn't meet the expectations of that generation on Instagram and so on, but it was true, it was
authentic. Yeah.
Exactly, and we put this as a Facebook post, Instagram post, and then we boosted it up to, extents that we couldn't dream of, even a day before. And at that point, we changed the marketing strategy to, we say why you buy the product, to let people tell other people why they should buy our books, and that's the mantra still for the company.
Great lesson, right?
Yeah, valuable lesson, and very cheap lesson to learn, and a lesson that saves us a lot of, if you want, money at the end of the day, because we are doing everything low key in marketing, just gathering all the information from the satisfied customers.
Okay, so if there are any questions, maybe, do we have any questions? Raised hands. Yes, please, no? Raise hand in the app. You have to raise hand in the app. I see a girl raising her hand physically, but you have a button there to raise hand. So we are able to put you in the system. Did you find the button? Oh, okay, we have someone. Another one, but yeah, go ahead. Who are you, what you do, and ask the question, please. We don't hear you, we don't hear you. Is he muted or some problems with the microphone? Okay. I think we can hear you now. Please talk.
So I'm Bina from Žužemberk, and I want to know, for me, it's how much money goes back into the company from what you make.
Ooh, very direct number question. Number crunching question.
Could you elaborate? What do you mean? To
From
research
one
and to
book
product
or-
development?
Yeah.
So you make a certain amount of money. How much of that money goes back into the company, and how much do you spend for your personal life?
How much do I spend for my personal life? After 7 years, more and more. I mean, to be honest, for the first 4 years, there was no salary. Then from the year 4 to 6, there was a good salary. Now there are dividends in play after 7 years.
Thank you.
So it's not a marathon game. It's not a sprinter game. It's a marathon game, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, things did change when I got my daughter. So it might sound egoistic, but I don't give a fuck. So yeah, it is. You need to start thinking about your personal life eventually. So money is a part of it, and I do not feel ashamed. I still believe I deserved it, and that's it.
Sure.
Great.
If I can add, usually in the beginning, everything goes back to the company because you have to invest in the development. It's just for the bread and butter. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, still, I mean, the very vast majority goes back in the company, and you know, I don't know why most of the people do business, but I would still believe that to some extent the ego in a positive way is involved. You know, I like to see things prosper, to grow, to get better, and you know, you can only accomplish this by investing in it, whether this be money, time, energy, rakia, whatever. You need to invest in it, but then eventually, you know, you start thinking, you know, to create a balance, which I think it's completely normal and fine.
But that goes hand in hand with thinking like, please don't start a business if you're doing it for money, right? And I know Isa has a lot to talk about it, and I'm pretty sure meets you too. So can we touch upon that, Isa?
I always say, if you, as Mit said before, first, you have to take care for your personal life and for what you want to have in your personal life. If you really need it, if it's not just to show off, because you deserve it if you work. On the other side, if you do your job or if you run your company just because of the money, and this is the only reason, and Mitz, I don't believe this is your only reason, maybe you started from that, this was the driver you started, but if you want to be successful, you have to have other drivers. You have to have the purpose behind. So I don't know, for Outfit 7, and most probably for you is the same, like bringing joy to the people. And when you do it, money follows naturally.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I felt, especially in the past couple of years, is I've been talking to a lot of startups, and I think now the preferred way is to build something fast and sell fast, which is completely fine. I can relate to that logic, but usually this comes with at the very beginning of the company, where the founders are not skilled, they still haven't found their purpose, like Isa said. You use this money to cut shortcuts, and I think this is not the way to go at the beginning. You know, you can you can take shortcuts with your investment of your brain, of your time, and so on, but don't do it with money, because if you do it with money, this will be, you know, short flight, definitely. And I see good companies being stirred away from the real purpose of doing something good, doing something amazing for the community or whatever, by foreign capital coming into the company. And I think this is, in my opinion, this is bad, but I can see some people not agreeing with this.
Yeah, it's a matter of how you want to do it, probably. And now from thinking about, okay, don't do everything just for the purpose of money, but I can understand, you said, which was authentic from your side, let's do something on the side to get, you know, a couple of €100. But basically, when the real thing started, you were not in it for money, right? You were in it because of the idea, you liked the idea, and you had the feeling that you can do something.
Look,
Because
man,
at the beginning, yeah. At the beginning, every one of us starts with, oh, that could be a good business, or I have this idea, and probably I can do something and not follow the boss that I had, like, which was really bad, or whatever experience you had. But then when you fall in love, and this, in my opinion, is really fast. Like, guys, you all have ideas, and if you started to work on them, you are now at this stage. Don't think about, oh, I will sell 100,000, you know, whatever you have, or I will have 2,000 customers, and I will get an investment, and I will be, you know, I will have a ton of money. That's not the right way, also in my opinion, to think about how to tackle the problems. Because
highlight for me in 2020 was not the revenue we generated or EBITDA or whatever. It was the day David Beckham got our book and he published it on Instagram, and we said thank you, and he posted 3 hearts back in reply, and we were like, yeah, done, this year completed, you know, drop the mic,
sold out.
Yeah, so this is, yeah, exactly. This is the things we work for. It didn't resonate in sales a lot, to some extent, yeah. But, you know, the whole company was boosted by that. And, you know, this is when they see me being super ecstatic about this, you know, you cannot be, you know, cold-hearted as an employee at that time, you know.
You had a couple of highlights like this. Kim Kardashian,
yeah, I mean,
also?
Yeah, the Kardashians were, you know, I was in New York talking to an agency, one of the agencies of the clan, and we got a number of how much would it cost to publish the book, and the number was $250K for one Instagram post. And then I said, you know, no way, we cannot afford this. This is like, you know, the vast majority of the money we have, you know, in stock.
But that didn't stop you, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. So I talked to my marketing team, which is, you know, there is a guy, his name is Philip, and he's a Sherlock Holmes in finding addresses of people. Long story short, he found their address. He made the book for, I don't know who it was, Courtney or Chloe, whoever. And he sent the book, and that cost us $25. And she got a book and she published it on Instagram, and, you know, the discussion started. And again, you know, this is the way I like to do things, you know, cut shortcuts, but not with money, you know, $250,000, but with being stupid and being, you know, courageous and so on.
With brain and just go.
yeah, a bit twisted brain, to be honest, but yeah, brain nonetheless, yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to touch briefly about, I mean, we talked a lot about different stuff now, but I just wanted to be clear on your thinking about how much the idea is worth. Because I think at the beginning and when you are young, you say like, ooh, I have this idea, and then you think that you are done. Not in just that simple, but how much is the idea worth? Because people are afraid that somebody will steal their idea, but the idea is worth absolutely nothing if you don't execute. How is your thinking about it? Maybe Isa?
Yeah, I agree with you, Sasha. My son wrote a blog, ideas are worth nothing. Though I might not necessarily agree that they are worth nothing, because not everyone has the idea. So some people are more ideas inventors, some people are more implementers, but just with the idea, because people then come and say, oh, I have an idea. Let's do it together and share like 50-50.
Yeah, I just need money or support. Yeah.
This is the idea.
Which is also comes handy, but yeah.
So ideas are nice, and we should know that among, let's say, 1,000 ideas, there is one idea that's really good and worth to implement. But yeah, I agree. Just to have an idea. Though you might have a product, a really good product, so idea can be implemented, but if you don't know how to sell it, it's still just like in your drawer, you know. So you have to sell it as well. And it's already implemented. So yeah, I agree.
Well, in my perspective, as I look back, I would say the main idea that started our company is not even remotely similar to what we do now, or it's just similar. It was version 1.0, but you know, if we would be stuck with the basic idea, we wouldn't come far probably. But organically, you develop, you get feedback, you talk to people, you experiment. So definitely, I mean, ideas are important, but as you both said, you know, executing it and then selling it is vital part. And that's why I believe, and I've been telling this a lot, you need to have practical knowledges, you know, don't be only somebody who has ideas, who comes to meeting, but either you know coding, or you know graphical design, or you know photography, or you know SEO, know something, be competent, you know, when the discussion arises on that topic, because this is the only way to move you beyond that golden average that everybody feels comfortable in. Don't be the average, you know.
Okay, let's switch gears to building a team. I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, ooh, we didn't touch upon like 5 different topics, which I want, but what 5? 5 questions or 5 more minutes? Oh my God. Okay, can we go on a little bit? Do we have time? 10 minutes more? Okay. So how to build a team, and what are the problems that you encountered? You had the experience, Isa, you said with Microsoft and Novartis, you learned a little bit, but how did you scale? It was probably a pain for you growing that quickly.
I wouldn't say a pain, I would say challenge again. Because
okay, great. Yeah, I get you. I know. Yeah.
My passion, you know, when making a business to build a team, this is my part of story. So in the beginning, it was hard from the point of view that we were not known, that we were not successful yet. And it was not easy to get like really good people to start to come to work for a startup. That was our issues. That were our issues in the beginning. Then we developed the approach to check our values, we said, and the personal values quite early of working. And this was a good decision, because to build a strong team with a strong corporate culture, the values should somehow align, because you can't change people. People can adopt their values to the corporate values to a certain level. But if they are completely different, they cannot align, you know, if they are in a different direction. So for us, this was always really very, very important. And we put quite some effort in the hiring process. And it was not easy. Also from the point of view that we were responsible towards applicants. Let's say you are looking for a job, but you have a job now and you want to come to work for me. And I said, oh, of course, come, I like you. And you come, and then in 2-3 months, we find out together that we don't really work well together. And you are fired. And then you are without job. So 3 months earlier, you had a job you were not like 100% satisfied with, but still you had a job and you got your salary. But in 3 months, I fire you, and I felt responsible for that, you know. That's why our hiring process and building teams were really very, very important for us. And we invested quite sometimes in different techniques, in different trainings and so on, to make team and culture really solid.
Really, really important. Meets? How was your
Yeah,
experience?
I really wanted to be a part of Outfit 7, and I actually sent a CV but got rejected. So.
Oh my God!
But that was great, because then you would never build Hooray Studios.
Yeah,
You can thank.
I didn't come through. I think it was Jure Prek at that time deciding whether I should be a part of it.
But he now works for you.
Exactly, he does. So.
How great is that?
Look, for us, it was a bit different. it was not that well planned. When we started growing, as I said before, we were not managers skilled in these fields, and what we were looking for in people was solely the passion. Our mantra was, let's get everybody who is stupid enough to work for us, this basically 20-hour job a day. So the heart comes first, and then the knowledge we would try to give to the participants, whether learning by doing or, some courses or whatever. And that worked perfectly in that period that we were growing, and we needed to adapt to all sorts of uncertainties, whether these be new markets, new products and so on, because we were exploring this field of personalized children's books at that time. But then now lately, as I said before, in the past 2 years, we started to develop some of the techniques Isa mentioned, and luckily we got some people from Outfit as well with that knowledge, and that's really valuable. And now we are doing this more strategically, but still I believe heart should come first.
Sure, I agree.
And this is now the great segue to the end. Heart should be first. What about the soul and the, visualizing, doing some soul searching and stuff like that? I know, Isa, you're big on, I don't know if you're still big on numerology, but you were when we met like a long time ago. And how did, this, let's call it esoteric a little bit. How did this help you? Like, what do you believe in, and how are you guided by, I don't know, some force, or you internally, or how do you think about it?
Yeah, obviously I have to send you our book to read it because it's written in book.
I will read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it in my list. Yeah, I want to read it. Yeah. I want to read it. Yeah.
So I introduced, because it's part of my life since I was a kid. All these people call it spirituality, but for me it's not a spirituality. For me, spirituality are spirits that we don't see, but the things we can see and we can touch. It's life, like crystals. Also numerology that origins from the old Greeks, from Plato and so on, and Pythagoras. I'm sorry, and astrology and all these parts. We use them while doing business. And there was one more thing that I implemented heavily in my lifestyle since we haven't met, is manifestation. So it's conscious creation of our reality now. And I was teaching it even before we launched, we established Outfit 7. And we manifested actually the success, and we manifested all apps successes. Maybe I can tell that I was also, because I'm a big tester of everything, also the methods I live and I teach other people. I tested once with one app that was no-brainer to be successful, and we didn't manifest the success like on the launch date, because we only always manifested the success on the launch date. I didn't, because it was a no-brainer, and that app was the only app that was not successful at Outfit 7. So
basically you manifest you see the results in the future, is that right?
First you have to define them. This is the basis of manifestation, and the most important part, to define the goals, the final objectives, not the way how to come to there, but the final objectives. And people usually struggle, even me, to set the objectives. And if I don't know where to go, I can't go. And then
you will find a way, yeah.
Yes, then I mess around. And then, of course, a part of this technique is also visualization. So when you visualize as you are already there, it's easier then to go there, because you have the feeling, the body has the feeling.
So you do that, you do, just to keep it really short, you do that through meditation?
Yes.
Once, twice, 3 times per day? How is it? Once in the morning?
Because Sasha, when you go to the shop, to the coffee shop, and you order a coffee, how many times you order it?
Once? No, 3 times.
No? You do it only once, you don't do it every minute. It's
No,
the
but
same.
I order it in my head before I order it, then I order it really in my life, and then I remember how I ordered it.
Okay, so this is
That's
then
the media radio technique of teasers and the bestsellers. So that's why I thought that's the point. But okay, yeah, keep
But
going.
for manifestation, you do it once, and I meditate twice a day, yeah. But I don't do manifestations all the time because it would be boring to manifest every minute of my life. You know, I like also surprises.
Okay, I would like to talk with you about that in some different, separate session. I think it could be so valuable. Meets, how do you think about this?
Well, I completely relate, even though I'm not really a role model in this field, but again, back to my travels, me and my girlfriend at that time were exploring all different, in Asia especially, I'm attracted to their philosophy. So, you know, going all the way from India's ashrams to Japanese Zen temples, we experienced all of that and we took valuable lessons from that, especially that being quiet is super valuable, especially in today's society. So to keep it short, yeah, I am in that field. I still don't know how to manifest, but definitely something to learn.
Something to learn, yeah. We have a master. We have a master here. No?
No, I don't agree. It's if you whatever you do in your life, it's manifested. It just depends how much, how consciously it's manifested.
How much you influence that, yeah.
Yes, but everything, every feeling, everything, every physical object, every situation is manifested.
Definitely. Then I'm good at it.
Guys in the audience, being very young, this is really important, and especially if you have a engineer mindset, this might be some woo-hoo or voodoo or something, but try it out. I'm not that deep, and I would like to go there because, you know, with age and with experience, you see that a lot of things are really true, and we are energy, right? And we have a mind that is crazy machine and that we can really influence stuff that we are then focused on, basically, right? Everybody of you, like Meets and Isa, you have 1 minute for the closing ideas. What would you like to share? How would you like to close this?
Well, we opened so many topics.
Yeah, scratch the surface.
Well, I mean, I would say something really not completely related to business, but I think it's really important. What I found out is that don't ever lose your hobbies. I know it sounds mundane, but you know, when you start losing hobbies, when you have excuses why you don't do this and that, then I think business has overcome you as a person, and I think that's not the way to go. For me, I was in that deep dish for some time, but now I started with martial arts and Go game, which is similar to chess, and I complement this with my business, and I feel really better than when I was maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, your mind needs a rest or something else, right?
Yeah.
That's really complementing to what we were talking before, basically, but in another way, yeah. Isa?
Yeah, I always do my hobby a business as well.
That's good, but also a problem. I have the same problem in my life, yeah.
So I would maybe continue what Meet said before, how they hire, and this is very important. Don't ever lose your passion, and don't ever do something that you are not passionate about, because this passion is actually life energy, passion is creative energy, and passion is what makes us alive. Not like living bodies walking around the world, but really alive. And to stay alive, we need passion, and don't do anything where you don't find your passion. This is the most important.
So great.
With passion, you will always be successful. Always, you will always succeed if there is real, honest passion behind.
And hard work then afterwards.
Yeah.
And then balance. and then, and then. Guys, big thanks. I'm so grateful that we got a chance to talk about all the stuff that I was also personally interested. So, thank you. Hope to see you soon in like real life environment. Over some nice food and drinks, and we could talk, for a couple of hours for sure.
Well, thank you for the invitation, and Isa, nice to meet you finally, even though virtually.
Nice to meet you.
Such a great thing that you now have, some employees from Outfit 7.
It's a small world.
Sasha, not just employee, the guy that didn't accept.
Yes. You see, guys? Everything is possible if you decide. Big thank you, guys. Ciao.
Yeah.
And everybody else, please stay with us. That was really, really great. So, I would like to invite Sebastian Rosa, that he will shine a light on Young Entrepreneur Program, which could be really interesting for you, for everybody. So Sebastian Rosa from University of Primorska is with us somewhere, sharing the screen. Sebastian, can you hear us? Can you say something?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Take it away. Take it from here. The stage is yours.
You can hear me very well?
Yes. Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Then we can go with the presentation.
Just share the screen, full screen. Yeah, great.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for the invitation to participate at the Eusair Popri event. I'd like to present you shortly a European program which is dedicated to future and young entrepreneurs. His name is Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. The program was established in 2009 by the European Commission. And sorry, I think I will have to switch to English, right? In order for others to understand all the presentation. Can we do that? Okay, I think this is gonna be the English version, right?
Yeah, you can do that. Sorry, I was drinking water, so you.
Okay,
it was not the right timing to talk to me.
Yeah, no problem. So the program was established by the European Commission with the purpose to help newcomers, startups, young entrepreneurs to transfer the entrepreneurial knowledge and know-how from the experienced entrepreneurs to the young and the future entrepreneurs. So basically, this was the idea of establishment of this program by the European Commission more than 10 years ago. And of course, the objectives are to help young future entrepreneurs to acquire the necessary entrepreneurial knowledge, know-how, to successfully start their business and get some valuable know-how from the experienced entrepreneurs. Of course, it's also the objective to promote entrepreneurship, networking between entrepreneurs, and last but not least, of course, try to build new business relationships between young and experienced entrepreneurs. So this was the basic purpose and objectives of this program when it started. So how and where does this program actually work? Basically, it's established through a big network of local Erasmus organizations, mostly chambers of commerce, technology parks, universities, agencies, etc. And through this network, the people are informed and recruited to the program. The program is present in more or less all EU countries and also some non-EU countries. For example, the countries of Western Balkan, like Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Serbia, North Macedonia, etc. And also some neighbor countries around Europe, like Turkey, Ukraine, and also now after Brexit, also Great Britain. Furthermore, some years ago, a pilot version of Erasmus for Young Entrepreneur global program was also established. And this year in March 2021, it was extended for another 3 years and some new countries were involved. And as you can see on the screen, there are countries like Israel, Singapore, Taiwan, South Korea, Canada, and 2 states in the USA, to which you can also do this kind of Erasmus business exchange. It means that new entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs from Europe can go for up to 3 months to those countries to host entrepreneurs for an Erasmus exchange. Currently in Slovenia, we are 4 Erasmus local support organizations: University of Primorska, where I'm coming from, the Regional Development Center of Koper, Technology Park Ljubljana, and Business Support Center in Kranj. But of course, you can find Erasmus local business, local intermediate organization also in every other countries which were named just before. So regarding the choice of a local support organization, each of the applicants can choose any of those local intermediate organizations in his country, no matter whether he's coming or she's coming from one region or from another. So it's not regionally conditioned. Training can be done from minimum 1 month to maximum 6 months, which means that you can perform your Erasmus exchange with a host entrepreneur in maybe in one slot or maybe in several separate time intervals. But it has to be completed within 1 year from the beginning of the training. And of course, funding is here also for each training. New entrepreneur gets a monthly flat rate. The amount of flat rate depends on the country to which they go for exchange, whether it's, I don't know, Italy, it's about 900 euros per month, comparing to maybe Denmark, which is 1,100. But of course, the countries with lower standards, you will get a bit less money per month. So then, of course, we can ask ourselves, who can participate actually in this program and what are the conditions? Of course, we have 2 different target groups of entrepreneurs who can participate in this program. On one hand, we have future and young entrepreneurs, which are all those who have the entrepreneurial idea and are considering starting their own business. So it can be anyone who's already in the process of setting up a business, or anyone who has already set up a business but has less than 3 years of entrepreneurial experience. This is very important. This is the margin between the new entrepreneurs and the second group, so-called host entrepreneurs. So according to that, you also have to have a business plan ready, which is a prerequisite for the application. And of course, you have to have the domicile in one of the participating countries. Last but not least, there is no age limit, which means that anyone can apply to this program. The only limit is 18 years old. So once you are over 18, you can participate in this program. On the other hand, we have this second group, as I mentioned, host entrepreneurs. Who are host entrepreneurs? Host entrepreneurs can be any experienced entrepreneur who has founded his own SME, small medium-sized enterprise, and runs this company. Furthermore, he has to have at least 3 years of entrepreneurial experience, and again, he has to be based in the country where his company is also established. So these are the preconditions for the host entrepreneurs. Once you fulfill these conditions, you can participate in this program and apply. So how does the cooperation process work? Actually, we have like 6 phases. The first one is, of course, application, electronic application via official website, which you can see on the screen. The second phase, once you apply and the application is approved by your selected intermediate organization, you can search for a suitable host in the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs database. Currently, I think there are quite some, I would say 4,000 or 5,000 host entrepreneurs available. But of course, if you cannot find an appropriate one in the database, you can also search it out, search for a host outside. But again, this new host entrepreneur will have to apply to the program in order to be eligible and continue with the process. The third phase, once you find your host entrepreneurs, is joint preparation of so-called training program. We call it Erasmus Commitment. This is a training program which you define together with your host entrepreneur. And it goes all about what are you going to do with him? What are going to be activities of the training there with him? And you define this together with your host entrepreneur. And once you have it, then it goes through a so-called process of approval. And once it is approved finally by the European Commission, we go to the fourth phase, which is signing of the so-called Erasmus training agreement between you as a new entrepreneur and your Erasmus organization. And once we have the agreement signed, you are ready to go. So you can implement your training abroad with your host entrepreneur for the dedicated time period as agreed with your host entrepreneur. And then once you finish your Erasmus training, you come back to your country and you do the final reporting procedure on the completed entrepreneurial training, which actually means filling in an electronic report and provide us with the evidence of your training. These are bills and the receipts about the spends and costs you had during the training, some photo material and some questionnaires. And basically this is it. You're not conditioned to start your business if you are not a startup yet. So basically it can be also a kind of opportunity to test yourself whether you are good enough to start as an entrepreneur, or maybe you will wait and develop your business idea furthermore. So this is shortly it from my side. Here you can see also the screenshot of the official website of Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. You can see on the upper right corner the word "Prijavite se zdaj" or "Apply now" in English, where you can start with your application procedure. And here you have also some numbers about how many business matches, how many new entrepreneurs applied, how many host entrepreneurs are currently in the database. So you can see that there are already more than 7,000 host entrepreneurs available. And if there is any question, please go for it. I'm here to reply and to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you. Sebastian, maybe where can everybody reach you? Through the website, or how they can contact you?
Yeah,
It would be easier that way. Yeah.
They can reach me through the contact details, which you can see now on my last slide. So basically through my email address or the telephone number. So I'm available for them for any further questions regarding application procedure, regarding how to develop their business plan, which is a precondition for the application. So no problem, you can reach me anytime, any day from 8 to 4 or from 7 to 3, more or less. But of course, I can also answer the phone after 4 o'clock. So no problem to reach.
Okay, yeah, we can see the contact information on the screen. So big thank you for this. It's a great opportunity for everyone that wants to do this, something like this. It's a nice thing, nice project. Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, don't forget at 2:30 p.m. that's a Eusair Forum and Awards an announcement for the 2:30. So you will know who is the winner. So it will be an important time to put in your calendar and set an alarm. So be with us at 2:30 today. That's almost it for today's session. I'm Sasho Pop and I was your host, and I just want to say thank you for everybody preparing this and partnering with us. So main organizer of the event is Primorski Tehnološki Park. Eusair Popri Youth is powered by European Commission. Eusair Slovenian Presidency 2021, Slovenian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Economic Development and Technology, also Government Office for Development and European Cohesion Policy, and Spirit Slovenia. The event is supported by Interact and was organized together with Tech Park Varaždin, Croatia, Innovation Center Banja Luka, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Business Incubator Novi Sad, Serbia, Center for Knowledge Management, North Macedonia, Auleda Vlore, Albania, Friuli Innovazione, Italy, Business Startup Center Bar, Montenegro, and also American College of Thessaloniki, Greece. Awards are provided by Primorski Tehnološki Park, Accelerator, Podim, and European Capital of Culture 2025, Nova Gorica, Gorizia. Thank you, and at 2:30, don't forget, be with us at the awards ceremony.